All right, everybody. Today we are at Fort Fraser, or the area that was known as Fort Fraser. So it was a U.S. Army fortification. It was constructed in November of 1837, and between the cities of Lakeland and Bartow in Polk County, Florida. And the fort is named after a U.S. Army captain, Upton S. Fraser, who was killed in the Seminole Indians War that happened prior to this fort being constructed. So also a future U.S. President, Zachary Taylor, was stationed at the fort as a commander of 2 companies of the 1st U.S. Infantry in May of 1838. And the fort was abandoned, however, before the Civil War, but the fort was used during the Civil War informally, so not as an official fort at that time. But the fort was located across from, actually in Lakeland, an area known between Catfish Country, which is a local restaurant, and a piece of property apparently across from that location. Now, I'm in an area that's really close by it. No one knows 100% for certain where it's at, but there was a local historian that seemed to have some coordinates, and I'm going to try to reach out to him soon and do a follow-up on this. But apparently the fort was is no longer there, but the remains most likely are buried below, buried beneath. The property is now owned by a private individual, and I think it's up for sale, but some historians, archaeologists have been wanting to do a dig there, but they haven't been able to yet. Would be interesting what they discovered. But I'm going to do a quick walk around this property. This is close to the area of where it may have been. Now, this trail that I'm walking on is called Fort Fraser Trail. And there was also, I heard a story that one of the other presidents, Teddy Roosevelt, and his Rough Riders rode this trail in the 1800s when they came back from Cuba, and they arrived in Miami, and from Miami they rode through here to go fight in the Seminole War. Now, I could be wrong on some of those details. I did read that online, but it is pretty interesting, though. It does seem to be based in some facts. But it is pretty beautiful out here, though, regardless. Nice. But this was a trail. It's about 200 years old. Of course, now it's paved over. But it is pretty neat to think about the history that happened here so many years ago. You can just kind of picture the soldiers